Hello and welcome to another session of Data Warehouse Cloud. Today we will be looking at Business Builder. In the previous session we created some data in the Data Builder in Space 3. This data is still available, and we also have the output one where we can has analytical data sets where you can access the data. If we look at this and let it load, you would see our texts and our company revenue, which is joined into our output. And if we look at the data, you can see the data here, how it looks like. So it's a very easy data set with not a lot of columns. Yeah, let's see what we can do with it. But maybe first let's start what is the business builder and what is the data builder. For this, SAP has some descriptions. So for the business builder, so in SAP Data Warehouse Cloud has two modeling layers tailored to different user groups. The data layer is where the data engineers create their models and a technical approach. So yes, in this data builder, we will establish the connections to the source systems, deliver the data in the tables, and the IT will do it for the business users. And if you read further, where the business layer is the area for business users who create the models using more semantic approach. So the business layer would be the layer for the end users, which or the power users, which will can create their own models, can model at calculated key figures, and create SSC stories out of these models. So there's a separation um, um, of IT infrastructures and the business layer infrastructure, but as you will see, the line is more or less blurred. So the business layer people who operate on this level can do a lot of things which was previously done by the IT. And if we scroll down, we can see this representation. So you have on the bottom of the business layer the business entity, which are dimensions and analytical data sets. Dimensions represents the master data, and analytical data sets represents the transactional data. Yeah, so here you can build your data set from the data layer created by the IT and consume your models and use it for reporting on the higher levels. Then we have the fact model. They are reusable. They are built on the business entity, and you can streamline your data within the same business context. So yeah, so we use here layer architecture as in LSA or other layer architectures to provide the data to the top. Then we have the consumption model. This is to take the data and consume it, and perspective to deliver this data to Analytics Cloud or to some others providers. Exactly. So let's go back and let's create the data. We go to the business builder. In our example, we don't need the dimensions. We can go ahead and use the analytical data set as we already joined the dimensions and the transactional data in the data builder. And here we have our output. And yeah, we just leave it be output as a technical name of the new object. Here, by creating, we either can create a blank model and not select anything from the source, or we can use the suggestions of SAP to add already existing measures and attributes and key definitions into the model. Let's go further and just use the suggestions. A lot of things will be already pre-filled for us. So what do we have on the general tab? We have the name, which is output 1. We have the data source, which is also output 1 from our data builder. And we have a version concept. We have also some workflow where you can just select, just say right now it's in progress, but you can switch it to invalidation and save it, so you can then see if the model is done or you have to do some changes with it. In the measures tab, we already see one measure, revenue. We only had one. More measures can be added. They could be currency can be set, and also some aggregation type, measuring types. So you can also restrict a measure, or you can count district, fixed value. You can calculate with formula and so on. So different type of key figures definitions can be defined in this step. But we just leave it as it is. We only need our revenue. Also for the attributes, you can see we have all our attributes we had before. You can select additional attributes here in this tab, but as we already selected all of them, there's no more attributes left to select, or you can define new attributes as, in the same way you can define the measures. Input parameters, right now here nothing is available. Key definition is this is our key, so we have three keys: company, year, and language in this scenario, so this is okay. Associations not needed, and authorization scenario was not created in this scenario, as we need to define the authorizations beforehand to use them here. So this is done and already saved. There's nothing to save, so you can go just one step back. So here we see we created our business entity. Now we go to the fact model and just name it fact1. We use our output 1. Let's see if it's still the same. No. Step 3 and create. Yeah, exactly. So this looks very easy. There's no relationships, but still we need to select some things. Here there was no suggestions, so we need to really select it one by one. So we have our measures, our attributes. I just take everything. And this is actually it. Yeah. And it's already saved. So fact1 created. Now we go to our consumption. Consumption 1. We take the fact1 and we take the latest version and just leave it fact1. Same thing here. This is very similar. Attributes. So in our model this looks very easy, but here you can define complex relationships and so on. But this is just for look and feel and how the process operates. So this is fine. Here we are right now at consumption model. We have to activate the allow to public data access. Save. Exactly. The only thing left, let's go back again. So we have the consumption model, and here we also define the perspective. This will allow SAP Analytics Cloud to access the data from this tool. So let's edit one. Consumption one. Maybe we need to add also some measures and attributes and deploy. Okay, now if everything worked out, then we go here. So we have 4 elements. We can switch to analytics, which is the analytics cloud. It's tightly integrated into data warehouse cloud, and we can go to the folders, and we have to switch to space 3. And here you can see our objects again, which we just created, and we can create a story here. Let's just use a canvas page, create a table, and let's consumption 1. Somehow we have to click again on the table, and then we're gonna go forward. And here we can select our columns, like company, and maybe make company a row, and maybe some more, maybe texts, exactly, and so on. So here you can do your charting. Maybe let's go inside some measures, revenue, dimension by year. So you can see the revenue every year is growing, which is very nice. Exactly. So let's jump to Data Warehouse Cloud, and we'll not save this story. So what can we say in conclusion? Very similar product to SAP Analytics Cloud. It's more like additional functionalities like type dependencies, data warehouse capabilities, very much standardized, and yeah, the next step of the evolution of SAP products where they go natively to the cloud, but still as a very standardized solution. It does not have this extreme customizing capabilities of BW on or BW for HANA. But still, I think very many use cases can be achieved using Data Warehouse Cloud. But here you have to really understand what are the limits and what are the capabilities of this tool. Yeah, I think the most prominent feature of this tool is the tightly live integration with on-premise and cloud products, like live integration of BW4, integration with HANA and other SAP products, just to put it virtually into one place and use the capabilities of Data Warehouse Cloud to combine the data sources. And when you have all the sources in one place, or physically or virtually, then the business users can really use the business functionalities of Data Warehouse Cloud, the business builder, to create their own data models, to create their own scenarios, and every department, every person in the department can use this extreme self-service capabilities to model their own personal scenario. So this is the main focus of this tool. Thank you very much.